Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Seth and Beth podcast. Beth, how are you doing today?
I'm awesome.
We have two svelte, very handsome gentlemen in the studio.
Do you see me? I'm trying to suck in my gut a little bit.
No, listen, we'll introduce the boys in a second. But this is like the fourth podcast in a row where you mention your side belly look on the podcast.
I don't like this. Like every time you see, I wore something a little baggier.
Boys, she went into this whole monologue about how she looked like a cat that had been spaded and how the midsection of an animal sort of falls a bit. So after 2 C-sections, she's working on. But you are up in the club working on that fitness.
I'm trying.
With these two. Beth, introduce these two beautiful gentlemen.
Okay, well, in all honesty, I don't wake up early enough to work out with Luke. So I don't work out with Luke. I do work out with Travis, though. So, Luke, welcome. If I'm one of these days, if I get my act together, maybe I'll see you. But you're like there 4:15 in the morning.
And on Saturdays, too, at the...
Saturdays, like 6:45 and
6:45.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yes, I'll never be there.
These two are from the Orange Theory Fitness in Fairlawn, Medina,
Copley.
Akron, Copley.
They call it Copley.
Okay. Yep. Boys, welcome to the show.
Boys, they're men.
Well, yeah, but they're very cute and handsome and much
better. Cute and handsome.
Yeah, so fellas, thanks for coming on the show. We love to have you. Now, why would a wedding podcast have two fitness instructors? Fitness instructor?
Yeah, fitness professionals.
Fitness coaches. Yeah, of course.
We'll go with that.
Pardon me, Beth. Beth, why are you drawn to Orange Theory and having these folks on?
Okay, so this is why I love Orange Theory and why I love, no offense, but I work out with Travis. And why I love working out with Travis.
Go on.
So babe, I've done a lot of different varieties of workout, right? Like I did the spinning and the yoga and the Pilates, and I did all of that. But what I love about Orange Theory, I don't have a lot of time. So back in the day when I had a lot of time, I could be at the workout club for 3 hours a day. That was fine,
That's
but
right.
now I don't have time for that. But you can burn.
I think the term, ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that?
That's the correct term, right?
Okay.
Thank you. Go ahead.
So I can go, and me personally, I can burn 600 calories in 1 hour. Less than 1 hour, actually. It's like 51 minutes. I'm always looking. So 600 calories, that's really good. In 1 hour. And I feel like I work out my entire body. It's not just like I'm running on the treadmill for 16 minutes, but I'm doing cardio. I don't love the rower, but I do the rower.
Yet.
Most people don't love
Travis
the rower.
is giving me some really good suggestions.
Well, maybe I should try this because I love rowing. So keep going.
You should then.
Yeah. But anyway.
And then you do like a full body workout, like a toning type thing where you do your arms and your legs and your abs and your back and you do everything all in 1 hour. So you work really hard in that 1 hour, like harder than you could ever work on your own. And that's why you have Travis and Luke. You have a fitness coach.
So we wanted to have the boys on because Beth got in the conversation of how wedding clients are getting ready for their weddings.
Yes.
And this Orange Theory is taking over. Like every city, I see, like it's not odd to walk past the building and just see a whole room of people working their asses off. And so I wanted to have you two on. So first, tell me a little about the two of you, like sort of where you're from, what's your story?
I'd like to know how you guys got to the position that you are now, like what your background is that got you
Don't be shy.
Tell us about everything.
Yeah, Luke, go first, because Luke, I love the way you speak with that Minnesota accent. So go ahead, my friend.
So I was raised in Minnesota, obviously. I moved out here to Ohio in 2016, I believe. I used to own some boxing gyms in Minnesota. So I've been a personal trainer since my first job out of high school, since 1999. Okay, so that's what I've done. But I owned some boxing gyms from 2010 to 2015, sold them, moved out here for another business opportunity. It didn't work out. I actually met the owner of Orange Theory at like a hot dog eating contest.
Oh my
that
gosh!
I won one of our 3 Orange Series, and then she invited me to be the head coach.
Should have done that right now.
Tell me, that's the opposite of working out.
How many hot dogs did you eat?
I think it was at 17 or something like that.
Jumbo dogs.
Yeah.
With
and
the
how
bun?
long though? And how long?
I think we were like an hour. It was just like,
okay, cool.
Yeah. So it was her son's
still a lot.
birthday party, but
That's really funny.
Yeah.
It was his son's birthday party that you were at. And
yeah,
then
she's like, because she knew we had some mutual friends through this business that we were working, and they just knew I kind of did crazy stuff. And she's like, you should come eat a bunch of hot dogs for the kids. And it's like, okay. So we all had all these hot dogs. It was just randomly, but then I ended up being a head coach.
This is just like one thing you've done in your life.
Yeah.
Like that's
yeah, just like it's just known. So so that was like 2016. I met Travis actually before we even got involved with Orange Theory. We randomly met at a fighting gym.
Yeah.
And we got paired up together, and we were doing boxing and stuff together. And we started talking about Orange Theory because we both had been offered in the last week prior to that.
Yeah.
You guys aren't like fighters, though. You're like very kind souls about happiness and love.
They look like they could kick the shit out of me, Beth. I mean,
Love it.
okay, keep going, Luke.
But so me and Travis met before, and after the fighting class, we were talking, and it's like, yeah, I'm gonna go try this Orange Theory thing, and it was like 2 days before the audition or whatever. It was fairly soon.
Yeah, it was probably like, I'd say like a week or two or so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we both went to the audition. We passed, surprisingly.
Wait, audition for what?
So you had to go to like audition to be a coach, because like
Yeah, because you're on the microphone, like you're, I mean, you see obviously like
Yeah.
when we're coaching class, there's a lot going on. So
Right.
Yeah.
So, like, what does an audition look like?
So Orange Theory, I mean, one of the things about Orange Theory that I think is what they do better than anybody else is they're a good system. Where like across the board, because you can go to Orange Theory in Alaska, you can go to Orange Theory in Hawaii. Like it's the same class every coach has their own personality and stuff, but like it's the same class no matter where you go. So like they do a really good job with that, but because of that, like the onboarding process, they make sure that you gotta, you can think on your feet, you can do this, you can do this. So like we had, how many people came to the audition? 5
yeah, it
or
was
6?
about, yeah, the one for Canton originally, there was about 10 or 12 people there.
Yeah.
And only 3 or 4
Passed.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then from there is a whole system of becoming a coach. It's like
I
a week
really
long.
thought that, like, you guys got this is.
Go, Beth.
I'm a little embarrassed by saying
go ahead.
this, but it's like you first had to work at the desk and like learn how to like enter everyone's phone numbers and
He still doesn't know how to
stuff.
do that.
I don't know how to do any of that. I'm the worst.
3 years
at it.
later,
Of all
he doesn't know
people.
how
And
to
then
do
you
that.
like have to like look through that glass door, like, okay, I'm starting to learn now by just like watching the other coaches. And then you would have to like work out in the classes. And once they feel like you're better, then they were like, would you like, you get like the tap, right? Like, would you like to
Wanna
be
go
a
give it a
coach
try?
now? You want to give it a try?
I'll give you the tap. Travis, tell us a little about yourself. Thanks for coming on the show.
Oh, no, thanks for having us.
We've talked about Beth's fupa belly. We've talked about hot dog eating, but we're gonna get to you now. Go ahead. Tell me a little about yourself. Look, did we even finish? With you?
No, we did. We got to where we had to get to.
Okay, go ahead.
present day. Yeah, so essentially I was born and raised here in Akron,
Where'd you go to high school?
Norton High School.
Oh, Norton.
Yep.
Okay.
So-
Walsh for me and Central Catholic for Beth.
Here in Central.
All right, yeah. So yeah, I went to Norton High School, graduated, went to college for like 5 weeks, dropped out. Wasn't for me. I went for criminal justice, but I just wasn't sure what I wanted to do.
I still don't. Keep going.
Yeah. So I was just working at Acme, got a job offer with my buddy's dad down in Georgia. So went to Georgia for a few months to work concrete, grown man job. Didn't want to do that anymore.
Outside.
Right?
Yeah, and just had those moments where I was like, "This isn't what I want to do," but it was good. Like I think we all need those jobs where you're like, "Okay, I know I don't want to do that."
Yeah, check that one off.
So came back to Ohio. Worked here for a little bit. Went to South Carolina. Moved down to Charleston for 6 months.
That's a cool place.
Yeah, my grandparents moved there, so I got a job at Walmart down there. I was like, all right, I'll go give it a shot.
Greeter?
No, I was actually in the back. It was horrible.
That's for old people, Beth.
Oh.
Let's turn on light up.
What do you call it?
Greeter?
Hey, how you doing?
So good. Oh my gosh, that's so nice.
No, I worked there for like 2 days. I just didn't show back up.
You gave up like the little stickers,
I wish that would have been way better than what I was doing. I was so Walmart. Just a quick side note, like I was in the back unloading the trucks, and the best way I can describe this is imagine if they took the semi and like put it like vertical, and they just dumped everything in and then shut the doors and then put it back horizontal and then drive it. Like when you open the doors, like everything.
that's what it looks like?
It's like pasta cans on top of TVs, on top of toys. It was
Wow.
a crazy.
Are you
process.
serious?
I'm not trying to give away Walmart.
Like
It's
Jenga.
Trade secrets.
We'll try not to hurt their $75 billion profit per quarter.
letter in the mail.
Yeah.
Anyway, so love Walmart. Anyway, moved back up to Ohio again, and then long story short, ended up getting my personal trainer certification. Kind of picking up where Luke.
How do you do
said.
that? Like, how do you get?
So online, generally, I mean, people can go to school for like exercise science for 4 years or
Yeah.
get the a bachelor's in that. I just did the online certification through NASM, and it took me about 4 or 5 months. And then I actually got certified like the day before the audition. So like, I took my test on a Wednesday, audition was on a Thursday.
Oh, that worked out.
Yeah, I was like perfect timing. Yeah, did the audition, and then one thing led to the next, and we opened.
You're
up
like
back
the
and-
head coach, though, right?
Yeah, Copley. Yeah.
So how did you get to that level?
So essentially, when Akron first opened, like Luke was the head coach there for a long time. He just moved spots now, but yeah, just started as a coach, and when I got the job, kind of what you were saying. Like I did work the front desk as well. I didn't get hired as a sales associate, but I just had like the attitude of like, I'll do whatever it takes to grow in this company. Like I'll work however many hours you guys want me to. Like I'm ready to take on, because I just came from this background of, manual labor and jobs that were just very tough. And I finally pinched into, what my passion was, which was fitness. And when I got the job, I was just like, I'll do whatever you guys want me to. And, that attitude kind of carried me to, be where I am now. So it's been an awesome journey. Once Akron got to a tipping point where it was like, we need a second studio, we need something. We have a lot of members. And that's how Copley came to fruition. So, yeah.
What happens when people go work out here? Because I told you guys, I'm a bit intimidated. Like, I guess if Beth says how competitive it is and the straps
I make it competitive. Like, it doesn't have to be that way.
It's a very laid back environment. It can be as competitive as you want to make it.
There's like some of my girlfriends there, like a couple of my cousins go there. So every time I work out, there's people that I know. And so
this
I
has
always
become her whole life the last 6 months.
I like look at the board and I'm like, okay, I have to burn more calories than Sabrina. Sabrina has more calories than me. I gotta turn it on right here.
So what can I expect when I walk in? I see that there's treadmills and that there's rowing machines and then some sort of free weight zone or something.
Yep.
And then keep going. Tell me what it's like.
So essentially, you'd come in for your first class. You'd sign all the paperwork. Liability in case you pass out. We're not.
It might happen.
I'm joking. No, but yeah. So you do all the paperwork. The coach who's going to coach that class will take you through. 15 minutes early. Walk you through all the equipment. So even if we have people in there who have already, they're in great shape. Some people have never worked out. So no matter what, they still get the same walkthrough just to kind of go everything. And then, the first class, the coach is definitely going to, spend a little bit more time with you in class. Like, make sure you do everything right, fixing your form. And not that we don't always do that, but your first class, like, I'm going to hold your hand through a little bit of it. But at the same time, you realize, like, it is group fitness. So, and that's what Orange Theory has done, is they've been able to make it a group fitness, a group environment where at the same time you're very focused on what you're doing.
Okay.
There are partner days sometimes, which can be fun. Some people dislike partner workouts.
I don't like it.
Okay.
But for the most part, when you're in there and you're just focused on what you're doing, like everything, like you have your own station numbers, so like it keeps you very individual, but at the same time you're in the group setting. So
okay.
And it's an hour-long class, so you'll be there.
Very encouraging too. Like at all time you're like, you did a nice job to like the person next to you.
You need that in your life.
Encouragement.
Yes. Well, you do. You always say you do. So what do you guys see with wedding couples?
So we have quite a bit. We have quite a bit of people that are married already. We have a lot of, like, example I was telling Beth, we had a lady who's been a member for like a couple months, and she recently brought her fiance in. And he was a super cool guy. He came on, like, he took his first class, and he was like, honestly, man, I'm just a lazy stoner. Like, I don't see myself doing this. And I was like, okay. But the thing about it is, again, you talk about Orange Theory being for everyone. Like, I seen him in there pushing himself, and I can tell he liked it. Like, during like 40 minutes in, I'm like, oh, he's loving this right now, because it gave him and her a chance to kind of do something different, And so now they're they're starting to compete a little bit in there, like running faster than each other, whatever. That's a class, like, he ended up joining the unlimited membership, So for him coming in, like, I'm just here for her. I don't really want to do this. And now they come like 4 or 5 days a week together. So
that's nice.
Super cool. And like they're getting married in 6 months. So
and that's what we see a lot too, is like people, 6 months before the wedding, they want to find something. And Orange Theory is so popular, everyone knows about it, that they come and they check it out, and then they put their 6 months in or whatever and lose a bunch of weight. But it's just a very good system for everyone to kind of come in and bust their butt. So
yeah.
Expand on that a bit. I know.
You know what we haven't even talked about at all is the awesome playlist while we work out. Like, I'm serious.
That's all every coach gets to do their own deal. So there's no, like, not yet at least, no corporate oversight on that.
Not yet at least. Yeah,
do you guys ever like put out your playlist? Like, sometimes, like, I work out with Travis a lot, and so a lot of the playlists you have, I'm like, gosh, if we had this, like, we play a lot of music at the house, and we got 2 little boys, and they love, like, pump up music, right? And so a lot of the playlists that Travis plays, I'm like, oh my gosh, the boys would love this, because it's like a nice genre from, like, like maybe even Green Day to like rap to some hair bands, hair
bands, Bon Jovi.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like a nice little spread of genre.
Yeah. So I mean, like, what do we use? Pacemaker. You can follow. Like, Travis has his own account or whatever, and you can follow his stuff.
Yeah, like, or like Spotify example. Yeah, I mean, like, so if you say, hey Travis, like that place today was awesome. Can I use it? I'll just search my name up, take it. You can take whatever you want.
Wow.
Yeah. So what advantages would couples have, like, go into some place like Orange Fitness as opposed to
Orange Theory?
Oh, Orange Theory.
Orange Therapy. No, I'm joking. People call it Orange Therapy. all the
You know,
time.
like I think I remember when I used to work out, I was totally that guy that it's probably nice to have a wedding, an event, and like get your goals and vision toward an event. But I also just like would join a gym and I'd walk in and get all dressed up and then kind of mosey around a bit, and just kind of like. There's a running joke, like some people just go, they get dressed up, like that's kind of their workout. They just get dressed up, do a couple bicep curls, and do a couple mirror selfies, which I love to do, Beth, you know.
Oh yeah, you're all about the mirror
and just go home. And so like at some point I'm going to start. At some point I'm going to. So I guess I'm creating excuses. At some point I want to do this with Beth.
Perfect date.
I've been trying to overcome some injuries of late, and I'm fearful. Actually, that I'm so damn old that once I fire up and actually do something physical, especially really difficult from what I hear,
challenging,
that I'm going to be, I'm so sore the days after. I play basketball one day on Tuesday, and I'm still limping, Beth, because I can still feel it. So that's my hesitation, is I never know. It seems to me like I have to be somewhat in shape to even try and tackle this workout, Luke.
So and that's where it's just all based on, it's all going off your own heart rate and all that kind of stuff. But then the coach is certified. Like we know if you got any injuries, like we can give you options, we can change up stuff. I mean, we've had people who are like literally professional athletes. And then we had a lady in Akron who was 73 and she had a nerve disorder where she couldn't even feel her feet. So like it took everything to even move like 1 mile an hour on the treads.
Wow.
But like after a couple of months, she was moving, everything was good, but we have options for everybody. So it's not specifically just like you need to be like an elite athlete or ready. Because we've had people come and say that. They'd be like, I'll go work out and I'll come in here in about 3 months when I'm in shape and ready to do this. And it's like, well, just work now. Work at your own capability. You'll be fine.
My favorite lady is that one. She's always at the 9:15 class, and I think she's 66.
Okay.
And she's
Her name Barb.
Yeah, and
Bustin'
she's not little. I mean, she reminds me of my mom, but she gets in there and she
Kicks
works
ass.
so hard. And if she has to walk, then she walks. And the one day when I was there, I said, "Oh, you did such a great job today." She goes, "Today was the first time that I never had to walk." And I was like, "Dude, what? That's quite an accomplishment."
It is. It's huge.
And I think she's been there for a year now, but it took her all that time to be able to go like maybe 21 minutes without walking.
Yeah.
And she did it.
What do you see our clients like overcoming? What can this, what are they trying to overcome when they're prepping for the wedding, Beth? Because I think it's obvious it's a high.
So those were some of the things
stressful.
that's what it is, babe. Sometimes you want to get to the gym to burn off some calories, but also to just like have that time to get your mind right.
Yes.
And so this is like 1 hour where you can burn off some of those frustrations and relieve yourself of some anxiety and just get at it. And you feel so good, not during it because it's a lot of work, but like, it's like when you get home or even just the next day, you just your whole body feels better.
What's cool is you don't have to think. So like even as coaches, like when we'll go, like when we're stressed out in there and we're all day long, like sometimes I just like to go in, I'll just take Travis's class. Like I don't got to think for an hour. He's going to tell me what to do. I just got to do what he tells me to do. I'll get my workout in. I'm fine. I don't have to think of sets. I don't have to do any of this stuff. Just listen to what the coach does, and you'll be good to go.
Yeah, and that's what kind of touching on what you were talking about, going to the gym and you're kind of like moseying around.
Yeah, that's me.
So it's like, let me tell you again. No, but yeah. So I mean, for couples, I think what kind of what me and Beth were talking about was just like the stress. Like, and I've never been married, but like the planning and the events and the financial and all that stuff that you're constantly stressed about. And going to the gym is just one extra thing that, okay, like if you guys both go to the YMCA, it's like, all right, so what do you want to do today? I don't know. I was thinking about doing some chest or some legs. I was going to hit the bike. It's like, again, it's like extra things that you're stressed about. And then on top of that, if you don't feel like you got a good workout in, now you're even more stressed.
That's me too. I'll do a couple. Yeah, I waste my time. I'll get in a conversation with a stranger about the Browns or something. Literally. And then I just like, ran out of time, go home. Like, waste of time. Maybe you're right. Yeah.
So it's about time efficiency when you're planning for a wedding and you're dealing with everyday life, especially, you guys got kids, you got jobs, you got all this stuff going on. It's the 1 hour that none of that stuff. When you're running as fast as you can for 30 seconds, you're not thinking about anything besides when the coach is saying 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
Like, that's all you care about. Or when you're doing thrusters or when you're rowing 2,000 meters, all the external things are like, you're not thinking about anything else. And we need that. We need that break. We need that mental.
I like it when you guys say things like they're very encouraging even when you're doing it. So they're like, right now, by just getting in here, you're showing yourself that you're committed, you're getting stronger, that you're a better person than you were when you walked in here an hour ago. And you're like, dang it, you're right. Thanks, guys.
So right.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Luke, talk about why you're so drawn to helping people get in shape.
Like I said, I mean, it was the first thing I did out of high school. Like that, it helped me, how would I say, fitness through high school. Like that was my deal. Like I was really skinny. So when I was a freshman in high school, I was the same height I am now, but 80 pounds less. I was 125 pounds. So like I haven't grown any height really, but like I'd really just got in the gym and busted my butt, and like it completely changed everything. And you start to get just confidence in that you can literally change your body, you can change your mind, you can do all these things if you just go put the work into it.
Yeah.
And like when we see people come in here and see people like Barb who come in, they can't run the whole time at first, but then a couple months later you see these gains for them where now they can go the entire 23 minutes, and you see how empowering it is to their whole life, where they know they can take on some of these other challenges and do it as long as they just go bust their butt. And they get to start seeing what they're capable of, which is pretty cool. Yeah.
And you know what I like about it? It's like functional strength. It's not like I go in there to, be a bodybuilder or like a, bikini model or something like that. Like it's strength that you need all the time. Like whether I'm running around with the kids or, it's like little things like getting off the floor. You can just hop off the floor where like I know other women my age, like it's a struggle for them to get off the floor or, just like things like that, carrying boxes and stuff like that, Like, I know that sounds kind of weird, like, bitch, so you can carry boxes, but it's like, no, I can. Like, being wedding photographers, like, we have to be ready for 13 hours a day, or like an Indian wedding. I mean, it could be 17 hours in one day. Yeah. And so I know that, like, by keeping up with it, like, I'm built for long days like that. Even though I am getting older, like, I can do it.
Oh, it's huge. I mean, like, and that's why, like, Orange Series' more recent slogan is more life. Like, it's more life. So talking about that functional strength, like the rower, like, and most people dislike the rower, but, the creator of Orange Series, like Ellen, like one of her things with the rower that she's talked about before is like, as you get older, like imagine like we have a light bulb and that light bulb gets dimmer and dimmer and dimmer as you get older, and that rower with like the powerful leg drive and all that, so it's brightening that. Yeah, whatever. I'm not really good at that stuff, but brightening that ball back up, but like there's certain stuff that we can't control as we get older. Your bones are going to get a little more brittle and stuff like that, but through the strength training, through the rowing, through the treadmill, building your endurance. So when you do have those long days where you're at weddings and you're constantly moving this equipment, carrying it, and I'm sure that sounds like a tough day, but when you're, translating all of what you do in Orange Series to those everyday things in life, I mean, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
Truly.
Talk about the project you guys are doing together.
Oh, I'm glad you said that. I wanted them to talk about that as well.
Go ahead.
So The Pursuit.
365.
So essentially, through Orange Series, me and Luca became pretty good friends. I consider him probably one of my best friends at this point.
You guys have some funny stories.
Like a lot of funny stories.
I know. Before we started rolling, I was like, you guys need to save all these stories. They're amazing for the podcast.
But yeah, no, we've done 2 Ironman together now.
A week apart.
Sunday
to Sunday.
It's like the cowboy guy.
Yeah. It was not intentional.
You know him, Iron Cowboy, you've heard
of?
Oh,
yeah.
We followed
one every day or whatever for
for
in a different
days.
state.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's
He
insane.
he spoke for the owner of this building.
Oh, really?
He invited him in and spoke for the team. So.
His story, just the levels of endurance that guy, like mental endurance, to be able to do that,
Right.
Yeah.
knowing that you're going to do it again tomorrow, like that's just crazy.
Yeah, but like it's like you meet, someone like Luke, like, when we, long story short, but we did our Ironman in Louisville, Kentucky, and the swim got canceled, and he didn't really like swimming that much, but
Swim got canceled.
There was an algae outbreak or something,
yeah.
so we couldn't swim in the water.
So that for
How many
me,
miles did you have to swim?
2.4 miles, so it's like 4,000
Sounds
meters.
easy.
Especially when you can't swim. Me and him, when we first started, so when did we start training? Like actually March, maybe?
March-ish,
We really couldn't, we could swim, but like not effectively, not
We could stay
efficiently.
afloat.
Yeah, we would not drown. That's what we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they just didn't have the swim as part of it, or what did they do?
So essentially the swim got canceled completely, and like for myself, like with like the level of integrity, it really, I couldn't call myself an Ironman if I didn't swim.
Yeah.
So if I biked, it's still a 112 mile bike, a 26.2 mile marathon, but waking up Sunday morning, there's no way I could call myself an Ironman. I couldn't do it. And that really bothered me. And I was like, I know I spent a lot of money and time and training for this thing.
Why didn't they put it in a pool like the cowboy guy?
Well, there's a lot of people, right?
You have 2,000 plus competitors or you wouldn't
Pretty big pool.
participants, a lot of waves, you know. But so we still biked 112 miles and ran a marathon, and like I ran into my own complications. My bike chain was popping off and all this type of stuff. So anyway, long story short, I still ran the marathon. I still got my finisher medal. I still got my finishing T-shirt. But the next day, they technically DNF'd me. They did not finish because I've crossed a bike line 3 minutes past the cutoff time because
He had to wait like an hour for his bike to get
yeah,
fixed.
because like my bike chain popped off, so I had to call race support. So he like I started in front of him because of our age difference.
Yeah.
So he passed me at like mile like 100. You know, so like I've already been biking for 8 hours, and my chain kept popping around like
my
mile
gosh.
80. So anyway, long story short, so not only did I didn't swim, well now my only Ironman was a DNF. So I'm like, it was eating me alive. So Tuesday morning, so we did this on Sunday. Tuesday morning, I call him up. I'm like, let's do it again, like on our own. He was like, when? I was like, Saturday.
Wait,
He was
like you didn't sign up, you didn't do the paper,
No.
you just like
Well,
on your own. let's
Ironman's
go
like
do it.
$800 just to sign up for the event.
Really?
Yeah.
The race
So I'm like,
itself.
I'm not paying for this again. So we also didn't want to train anymore because we
Yeah.
were sick of training. So it's
Yeah.
like if we're doing it this week before, because it was like October. It was already getting cold.
Yeah. So
We wanted
yeah.
to get done with it before it got colder and push it out where we'd have to retrain, and we were not having that.
So Saturday, whatever day it was, we woke up and we swam in Portage Lakes, and it had to be, I would say,
It was
maybe
freezing.
60 degrees.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And so we swam our 2.4 miles in the lake.
Travis got hypothermia.
I
to
was
say.
literally shaking for like 30 minutes after we got out the water.
Yeah.
So we were in the water about 2.5 hours. And then we swam like all the way around like the Portage Lakes area.
And Morgan was just with us in like a canoe, just making sure we
Yeah,
didn't
little
drown, because
kayak.
like everyone's like boating around fishing, and it's early in the morning. Like, who are these two idiots swimming? And we're just like swimming through, like we're waiting to get yelled at.
Like
by
we're
them.
like side stroking because like just to even dip your head underwater for an official stroke was freezing, you know?
Yeah.
So then we got inside. We ate like a couple like Jimmy Dean breakfast sandwiches and some chicken broth because it was like warm.
Yeah.
And we hopped on our bikes and we hit up on the towpath and we biked up to Cleveland because we had to get like 112 miles in. So we biked from Clinton, New Franklin, all the way up to Cleveland. And it was a beautiful day. There was plenty of people on the towpath. Like we weren't in there like in aerial position biking 20
Sure.
miles an hour.
Yeah.
You know, we were just cruising.
Yeah.
And at that point, like we weren't worried about the official cutoff time, which
just
is
wanna finish.
17 hours. You know. But yeah, so we stopped it there. Went to like Starbucks. Like we stopped at Target. We went inside. We were eating like fruit by the foot and like Ritz crackers. Luke got a coffee. So we're sitting at Starbucks in our bike shorts and bike shoes, and people are
look
looking
like
at us
idiots.
like, what are these guys doing?
Yeah.
You guys
And-
had to look a mess.
Oh
too.
yeah! Oh my goodness. So then we got back to like we got down into the valley of Second Soul, and that was like one of our stopping points. We were at like 90 miles.
It's like
And
11 o'clock. No.
No.
Second, so by 10.
No, not yet, because we started the run at 10:30, so it's probably like 9 something, like 8:39 ish. And I was like, dude, we still have like 20 something miles to bike, and it was already dark, and we were gonna go on a towpath. We
Can't
both
even.
went babies. So I was like, I don't want to go back on the towpath.
It was dark. It was scary. We met a guy out there who's just standing out there.
Yeah,
Like,
standing
just standing there, and we bike by, and it's like dark, and it's like, what's this guy doing
You're
out here?
just standing here. So I was like, I'm not going back on the towpath. So then we just do laps around West Akron for like from mile 90 to 112.
With one Taco Bell stop.
We did stop at Taco Bell and got some tacos. And then
Good man.
That's also part of my workout too.
You'd like
Taco Bell
this.
stop.
I'm really relating to this now.
And so we pull back in Orange Street Fitness Hacker, and we had some friends there waiting for us, you know, cheering us on. So it's like Sunday at 10:30 p.m. now, and we've swam, we biked, and now we're like, we got to run a marathon.
I was about to say, like now, yeah.
Yeah, and we both kind of like, we got back and they're like, no way that y'all are about to run a marathon. And we're like, I mean, we've already made it this far, like, might as well start. So our plan was to just run 1 mile down, 1 mile up on West Market and just do that 13 times.
Because we get supplies. If we got to go to the bathroom, like we only got a 2 mile section we have to finish. So it wasn't.
With
And so-
T-Bell in you?
With T-Bell in us.
Yeah.
But we did not go to the bathroom one time throughout this
Yeah.
20-hour day.
What? That can't be
Like I
healthy.
said, it was
But
worked it through.
so anyway, like 8-10 miles in, like we're hurting. Like not only it wasn't the physical, it was like this guy was falling asleep and running.
Yeah.
I mean,
I've never had that happen before.
I shut like, I'm like, Luke, wake up, and we actually went back in Orange Street to go pee or whatever, and he was like, all right, Travis, I'm gonna take a 5-minute nap. I was like, you will not shut those eyes.
Yeah, let's
You will
go.
not shut
Nah.
those eyes. And then probably like the coolest part is like we got to where it was like mile, what was it like?
We had like 8 miles left.
Yeah, it's like mile 18.
And I, mind you, had coach the next morning at 4:30 a.m.
Yeah.
And I thought we'd be
No.
done at this point, and we had
Yeah,
not been
we
done
had
yet.
we had planned on being done at like midnight. And I
What do
don't
you
know
even tell the people in class then?
Let's get going. We'll talk about the story. So
essentially it's like we're probably averaging like 11, 12-minute miles at this point, you know, because we're like deep into this thing. It's, you know, 2 a.m., 3 a.m. now, and there's no one out obviously on West Market. And we had got back to the studio and we were waiting. The problem was we kept waiting at the studio too long. We'd run 2 miles and we'd hang out for 10 minutes. And I'm like, dude, we can't keep doing this. Like, our time is like,
I'm killed.
not only are we not going to finish this marathon, but like we won't have time to finish it.
Yeah.
So what would be even worse is swimming, biking, and only getting 19 miles in before he has to
20 miles,
coach.
Oh my gosh.
So we were like, I looked at my watch. I was like, dude, we have an hour. Like, we have to run 8 miles. So I was like, we have to finish 8 miles in an hour. And we haven't averaged anywhere close to
Sure.
this pace.
Yeah.
And the whole time we ran. And we literally ran from Akron to Burntwood Studio, or Burntwood Studio.
Tavern.
Yeah, Burntwood Tavern on like a 9-minute mile pace. Turned around and we didn't say one word to each other.
Yeah, we just looked at each other and said, we got to finish this. Like, and we both just started
And
running.
we did not say a
you
word,
know.
and we
What
ran.
badasses.
And we got back at like 4:10 a.m. This class started at 4:30, so there's already members there, like getting out their cars, and we're just walking, and he didn't even shower.
And then shower didn't change, and I was just like eating and drinking a coffee.
Did
and
they
like,
look at you like, woo?
well, they knew what we were doing, but
Oh,
like,
they did.
Oh,
I
yeah,
taught
like through, like,
4
Facebook.
classes back to back after the whole thing.
I don't even
Yeah.
believe this.
It was ridiculous.
It was a cool time, and I slept on the floor for like an hour, and I went and got breakfast, and I went home and slept.
Yeah,
so you had
right?
that.
As you should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad too, because at first, like, Luke almost had me talked
Savage.
in to like having like this badass story, like, oh yeah, you know, I ran, you know, like I did an Ironman, I coached 4 classes. So he almost had me convinced to coach in the morning. I'm so glad I didn't, because when we got done, I'm like, screw you, you got to coach. I'm going to eat breakfast and I'm going home. So anyway, that was the whole little Ironman spiel. But again, just kind of going into the Pursuit 365, Luke can kind of touch on it a little bit.
Just like, you know, like you said, people will fall into patterns or rhythms where it's like they're going to work every single day and they're not seeking out anything. They're just going day to day, which is, I mean, it is what it is. But if you're not enjoying your job and stuff or enjoying what you're doing, like you should have something you're shooting for, some goal you're going for. And that's kind of what we're talking about. The pursuit is just like every day you should be putting yourself outside your comfort zone. Like even coming into Orange Theory is, you know, there's things you don't necessarily want to do. You know, if Travis says you're going to be rowing 500 meters as fast as you can, like you don't want to do that, but you do it because it makes you better. It gets you stronger. It gets you outside that comfort zone. And just like kind of being proponents for that, telling everybody, it's like you should be doing this stuff regularly, like every single day, making yourself uncomfortable. So
Yeah.
I think that's really good. You know, I think that there's people that don't work out because they've never worked out. Well, I didn't play sports in high school and I don't know what any of that equipment does. And I don't want to go to Orange Theory and then like it's like all these like really cute girls in spandex that are real young in their 20s and they're all working out really hard and I'm not one of those people. And it's not like that. Like and that's what I tell people. Like you have so many different people from different avenues of life and different ages and I don't know, like everybody can work out there. Yes. Everyone.
Truly, yeah.
And like with the functional strength too, we talk about that. Like working out is like if you don't use it, you lose it, right? So you can be 50 years old, and we have some members who are 50 and do just these incredible things, still doing marathons and stuff. But then there's people that come in that are 50 years old that haven't worked out in 20 years, and it's like they got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
But it just helps out your entire life and like everything that you do. You know, moving around all day long. We're all going to be moving around every single day.
Yeah.
You know, you may as well do it as effortlessly as possible. So.
Okay, so back to the 365 thing.
Yeah.
Pursuit.
What are you guys looking to do with it
Pursuit.
moving forward?
Pursuit 365.
So I mean, I would like to just kind of do this, you know, like podcast and talk, and like we one thing we really want to do is like bring guests on that are living this, you know. So people like yourself, like you guys pursue obviously the podcast, you pursue your wedding photography business. Like if someone opened up a bakery, if someone owns their own medical practice, if someone, you know, is a certain practitioner of some type of passion or whatever, like we want to bring people on that, because you know that can help enlighten someone who maybe wants to start their own photography business or something. Like they can hear like the hardships. I'm sure you guys would go through plenty of hardships. I'm sure you still do on a day-to-day basis. But like in letting them know, you know, what it might take or what some things that they can do to help overcome certain situations. And but because some people just like ask like, well, like is it even worth it? And it's like you get those people who leave their corporate America jobs and they, you know, go to open up something and they're going to hear all this from their family. Oh, you shouldn't do that. You know, you should play it safe.
Oh,
you
right.
know, like
Seth and I deal with that all the time.
Oh my gosh,
Naysayers and the like.
Yeah. And I tell people, it's like a lot of times, unfortunately, you hear that from people who they know they'll never be able to do that.
Yeah.
So they don't want to see you do it. I mean, that sounds crappy, but there are people like that. You know, they don't want to see their best friend go out and live their best life, and they're stuck at home or stuck behind a desk, you know, 9 to 5. And if you want that, and that's kind of what we talked about. Like, we don't want that podcast to be putting anyone down who lives that life. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
If they're happy.
Exactly.
Yeah, yes.
Exactly.
Like,
but
if you are a stoner at home and you're happy, then that's good.
fine. Yeah.
I'm really happy for you.
Yeah.
You know, like, I really am.
Yeah,
There's people that are just chill and they want to be home.
Yeah,
and that's just what they want to do.
Totally. And when I, like, kind of where my idea for the Pursuit 365 didn't start here, but even when I worked this job in Doylestown called Trusco, building trusses for houses, and it was the most, like, robotic job I've ever done. I mean, I learned some stuff, and there's some cool people there, but, like, these people have been there for 20, 30 years, and they maxed out on their salary 10 years ago. So they know for the rest of their time here, they're not going to progress. Yeah. But they were so, and, like, you know, there's some really nice guys that they were just content. Like, they always got laid off, you know, 3 months of the year, 2 months of the year. And there was like a big horn that blew for the smoke break, another big horn that blew for lunch break. And I was like, I can't do this. I can't live this life. But, you know, some people, that's what they want to do, and that's fine. Like, if you're happy, you have a family, you provide for your family, you get your,
babe.
I need to understand this better, because sometimes I can't ration in my mind or visualize why. I guess not how someone could do that, but like how.
The trust guy, you mean?
No, just in general, those type of robotic jobs, or like, you know, I just can't. I guess I've always kind of wanted more.
Definitely.
So that's what I was gonna say. Like, I think from you,
your hands
Seth
are freezing.
Kurchan, I'm so cold. Like, at one time I was like shivering kind of over here, but I think I've learned from you throughout life. Seth and I have been together since we were 18.
1999.
1999.
Good year.
And so I've learned through life that whatever Seth has wanted to do, he would do it.
Yep.
Like, whatever. Like, he wanted to get a PhD, he gets a PhD. He wanted to build a motorcycle. He doesn't even have a motorcycle license. Yep. Like, he's going to freaking build a motorcycle. He wanted to be a tattoo artist. He was a tattoo artist. He wanted to be a football official. Anything that he was like, I think I want to do this. And, like, you know, like, in my mind, I'm like, you're not going to do that. And by golly, he's going to do it. Podcast.
Yeah, right.
Our wedding company. Like, we have a new.
Well, enough about me. I think you. I guess the point is, you guys are
the pursuit of happiness.
Oh, I see. You're right.
That is like what they're talking about on the podcast.
Literally.
And
like,
everybody can do. That's the thing. Is like everybody can do that if they can just believe that they can do it. Because like I'll hear it a lot of times. Like Travis is fairly young and he's making good money and he's doing a job that he loves. And like I've heard people that are like, well, that works out for him. He just fell into a lucky whatever, you know, he just got a lucky break, and it's
Don't
like,
you love that?
no,
Lucky?
he just went
I
out there
know.
and he busted his butt. But like, we're trying to inspire people that, you know, a young guy who had literally no fitness experience, zero fitness
I mean,
experience.
you could still be working for that concrete company.
100%.
Totally.
You could be working for the trust
There are still
company.
guys that are still that probably work there right now. That
Yeah,
people you're working
totally.
with.
No, I mean, and that's for myself, you know, I know, and that's where I'm trying to do this podcast, and that's why one reason that I like the idea of getting people on that way. They're not always looking at me like, oh yeah, well, it's easy for you, you know, you're 24 with no kids, and it's like, there's people out here that are doing it that might be 40 with 5 kids, you know, and they're getting it done. So
you know what you said once in class, and sorry, Luke, that I just, you know,
He takes all my lines, so
okay. But you were like one time when we were stretching, you were like, so like everyone here has a story, you know, like there's people here that are cancer survivors, and they get out here and they go and work out. There's people here right now that have 6 kids.
Yeah.
And they are committed and they figure it out and they go work out. We need to help hold each other accountable and not make excuses for ourselves and just spend 1 hour and go work out. It's just 1 hour.
Literally.
And Orange Theory, like what I like is I burn enough calories in one class that I don't have to go work out 5 days a week.
Yeah.
Like I'm totally fine like going just 2 and then doing something at home.
Well, and it's and a lot of it's just, I think, like people are, you know, like uneducated. Obviously, if you're not in a fitness background, you're not going to be super educated on that. But people get this idea, like people sometimes brag, like, yeah, I was at the gym for 3 hours today, and I'm like, why?
Why?
Yeah.
They're like, whoa, it's
Anything
just, I
else
was
to
like,
do?
why would you want to do that? I'd rather go there for an hour and not be done and have other things to do in my day. Like,
Yeah.
you don't need to work out for 3 hours. Like, it's intensity versus like, well, what are you doing in those 3 hours?
Yeah.
Like, was it an hour? You know, you kind of walk on the treadmill and then, you know,
Picking
the
your
other
playlist,
hour,
you know, sitting
you're
around,
on, you're on Instagram, whatever. It's
Yeah.
like, or you can go for an hour and focus.
This stretches into like business and life. Our business consultant, Paul, who I'm on that other podcast with,
Yep.
he's a very inspirational business coach. And, you know, I think the trend is that people want to tell other people how hard they're working and how long they're working.
Yeah.
So literally it will be, he says he's had stories where people just be like, oh, yeah, bro, I work 80 hours a week. And he's just like, boy, you must be incredibly inefficient.
Yeah.
Working. Like I get all my stuff done in 40 and I go home, you know, and so like
That's something that we did like through his consultation. Is that
yeah, sure.
like we had to like track, which was a lot of work. We had to track everything we did in 24 hours for 1 week.
Okay.
So we could figure out where we were being inefficient in our day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like if we were messing around on social, he's like, listen, if you like going on social media,
Yeah.
then budget that in your day.
Yep.
But budget yourself an allowance of that time and not like, you know, you're watching a movie every other day and then
right.
wondering why you don't have time to get stuff done.
Yeah. Exactly.
Everyone has time to get stuff done.
Yeah, we all-
You just got to figure out how to get it all done.
Yeah. And what's important to you? Like, what are you spending your time doing? And
Yeah, there's this guy that I follow. He's a really big like YouTuber. I can't think of his name right now, but he did this chart one time where he took like dominoes or something, and he just mapped out like from 4 a.m. to 11 p.m. and like each square he had like from 7 to 11 I'm doing this, from this and that, like, you know, whatever. But he was a person who stayed up late and he woke up a little bit later, you know. But he was like, he found out that it was almost like he moved his 2 dominoes from here to here. So instead of
Oh, I see.
being up from 9 to 11, he got up from 4 to 6. And he was like, I'm more productive from 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. than I am from 9 to 11. Because from 9 to 11, I'm lazy, I'm tired, I'm,
Yeah.
you know, BSing on my phone, blah, blah. But he's like, at 4 a.m., I'm getting up, I'm getting no texts, no calls, no emails. My kids are sleeping, my wife's asleep. I can be productive in these 2 hours.
That's what you say at night. That's
Yeah, I'm a little reverse.
Yeah, no, which
I
is
can't
fine,
imagine
yeah.
waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning, but I do my best work from 8 to 11 after the kids go down.
Yeah, totally. I mean,
so I can kind of zone in then. So the one thing I wanted to pick up on is so you have an interesting living situation.
yeah.
I do.
oh, we haven't talked. We
I may. Yes, I do.
this is
So like this has nothing to do with either podcast. I just want to
This is
hear
just
like
interesting.
tell us your story about like maybe you were saying the last few years, last 5-10 years. Go ahead for
Yeah.
it.
So actually, I live in a van right now, and I've been homeless since April 1st, 2 years ago, and I lived out of my Ford Fiesta and the studio. I don't know if I can say
Hold
that.
on,
but
Batcast.
Hold on.
Let's talk about your living situation before that.
It's been crazy. So I kind of live a crazy life. But so I lived out, Minnesota. When we moved out here for this business, there was about 10 people who moved from Minnesota for this business, and we all literally lived in the same house for a period. So there's 10 adults living in one house.
the boxing business. Or
No, this is it was in energy deregulation, just
Sort of like a marketing, if you will, like a
network marketing kind of thing.
network marketing.
So we came out here, and there was 10 of us living in one house at once. Then we split off, and there was a group of 5 of us from around the whole country. There were people from Florida, from Wisconsin, from Minnesota, and from Chicago, I think. And we all lived in this one house right by the Akron studio. And like the living room, we literally built a fake wall, and we made it into like a barracks. So there was 3 bedrooms in the one living room. Like we were all living in the same place. And as we were building Orange Theory, like then I got more involved in Orange Theory at that point. But eventually I moved out of there. Like I've always wanted to live in a van, like my whole life. I don't know why. I just always wanted to do it. So when we really started rocking in Akron, we were like one of the top 3 Orange Theories in the world.
Wow.
For a period. Akron, Ohio, which the other 2 were like London and
Guatemala or something.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I think it was
we
just
were,
crazy
Like, the
that you had
second
Akron on
fastest
there.
growing Orange Theory.
Wow.
Yeah.
Super cool.
So we were making good money, and like generally when people start making good money, they increase their spending habits.
Yeah.
And they just have nicer clothes, nicer cars, blah, blah, blah. But they're just as broke per se as they were before. So I'm like, I'm cutting everything. So I literally cut everything, and I'm more of a minimalist by nature. So I literally purged everything I had that it literally fits in the van right now, everything I have. And I've been living there, like I said, for about 2 years. I did live out of the studio, and me and Travis talked about, like I was looking at all these different vans, like there's a million options that you want to do. I mean, you're going to be there for a while. And Travis, it's like, you got to get this van. He goes, you got to do 200 burpees a day until you find a van. And it took me one day. And then the next day I went out and bought a van. So I did 200 burpees at one day. I bought a van the next day, and I've been there ever since. And
Is
like,
this one that you gutted and then redid, or
so it was like a regular work van, nothing in the back. And I have minimal carpentry skills. Like I don't know what I'm doing, but literally I'm just building it. And there's been a couple times where I've built it and I didn't like it. I tore it all down, rebuilt it again, just to like maximize space and all that kind of stuff. I got a pretty decent setup right now, though.
Can we get some B-roll of the van to
Yeah.
splice into
Yeah.
the podcast?
I'll show you some, yeah.
I know there's like whole families that have redone vans and like they document their stuff on Instagram, and
Yeah.
I always watch that stuff. I think the minimalistics is a big deal nowadays with like the tiny homes and like all the documentaries about minimalistic. We are maximalistic.
Yeah.
We have shit we have shit everywhere.
Yeah.
We have
So
rooms
much
of
shit.
it. Not as bad as some, but
Yeah.
I love hanging on to trinkety stuff. So
Yeah, same. I'm the same way. I'm like, oh, this is my ID badge at Acme. I want to keep this, even though it was 6 years ago. Like,
So like currently, I just found an old bowling trophy from my dad from the late 70s. Then I found like a football trophy I got in high school, which means nothing to me now, but it was just funny. And
It does mean something to
so
you.
you put it out because you're proud of it, and our
of
little
it.
one, our little one just won like a little wrestling trophy, like a year-long accomplishment. So he put it. Now he's got it next to
He's like,
Grandpa's.
I'm gonna
and-
put this trophy right by Dad's. And Seth played college football, so
Okay.
like it's like it's like a nice little area of like accomplishments,
Okay.
yeah,
So
but our house would not fit in a van.
oh my gosh, no.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's a lot of people. I mean, it's like when me and my girlfriend just recently bought a house like 6 months ago. and-
Congratulations.
Thank you. And we downsized, and it's a weird mental, like it's weird. Like you feel almost embarrassed when people have seen my old apartment. Like, it was a nice apartment. It was a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath. It was a split level. We had plenty of space, beautiful backyard. And now, we moved right off of Portage Lake, so we have boat access, so we can dock our boat in the water.
nice.
Like that's one thing that we were looking for. But we went from that to like a 2-bedroom, 1 bath. We downsized a lot, and it's almost like I'm happy with what we have. Like I love it. I mean, we bought the house obviously, but I know that we're going to use all the space that we have. But it's a weird, because the thing is like you want that big house, you want the bedrooms, you want the wide open space, and you want that to brag about. And in a way, I mean, obviously some families need it.
Yeah.
But people are like, oh, like I need more cabinet space for more storage. I'm like, why?
Yeah, why don't you just
what,
get rid of
just to
some of
have
the
it?
stuff? Yeah.
And it's been weird because I really figured out, because we bought this house and it was very livable at the time, but it was dated from like the 70s. The house was built in the 20s, so it's almost 100 years old. And so when we went in the first 3 weeks, we gutted the whole thing, and we completely redid the bathroom because that obviously was needed. Like there was not even a shower head, so we had to go in and reinstall that. So thankfully, me and my buddy did that. I'd buy some beer and have him over, and we just go to work. Get
That's a
to
good
go.
friend. That's right.
So, but anyway. So our kitchen is still like nowhere near done. Like still, I mean, we got random pieces of drywall still hanging down. I look at it every day and I'm whatever.
We'll get to it.
Yeah, seriously. But it's funny because I really realized that, less is more. Like we have the same 3 pots we cook out of, the same 2 pans, 6 forks, a couple plates, couple bowls. But, before that, it's like we had all these like skillets and this crock pot and this
We have all
waffle
that shit.
maker.
We have all that shit.
It's like, but it's just like, it's crazy because you don't use it. You might use it every now and then, but it's
It
like,
gets more depressing when I'm like building like I'm like nailing wood to build rafters so I can put more shit on the
literally.
rafters. It's like, what am I doing here?
it's crazy, and it's it's just one of those things that it's I think a little bit of it is human nature. Some people like Luke might just be naturally more born to not want that stuff, but like a lot of us, it's just like you said, you make more money, you want to like upgrade the car, you want to upgrade your living space, but whether it's a king bed or a twin bed, it's a bed. I mean, obviously you get
What
what
happens
you want,
if your
but
spouse takes up most of the king bed?
I totally
You get a second bed, put it right next to
a
it.
separate bed. Yeah, no.
All right, fellas, it's been a blast having you guys on. How can people follow you two if they're interested?
If it's Instagram, my actual personal account is Trained by Trav. So just the word Trained by Trav, and then our Instagram is The Pursuit 365. That's the brand new podcast.
Oh, we didn't talk about. Wait, before.
What?
I did want to talk about. Like, I thought it was such a cute idea to have a bridal party.
Tell us what bridal parties are doing with you guys.
Oh yeah. So if you guys want, so you guys listening is, if you guys ever want to hook up a bridal shower, or bridal party, I want to say, they can just call the front desk or reach out to me. If you got 6, 8, 10 people, if it's a smaller group, they can all just come to a class, a normal class, 9, 15, whatever. If it's gonna be a group or more, like if you want the family to come and all that, 12, 15 people or more.
I think that's so fun.
We can just do a private class just for them for free.
Oh my gosh, that'd be so fun.
Yeah, totally.
Sounds
we've had it done.
exhausting.
Just 1 hour.
Do it on the 2,000 meter row day. Do that. Set it
Oh
on
my
that day.
gosh.
Luke, tell us where they can find you if they want to follow.
So on Instagram, mine is outside the boxer. And then the Pursuit 365 is our Instagram.
We wish you luck. I'd love to have you guys on in the future to hear more about your podcast and where it's going. I can't thank you enough for taking care of my boo here at workout. It's all the rage. That's all she talks about. So thanks for watching the
Thanks
show,
so much for coming
guys.
on,
Thanks for
Thank you
coming
very much
on.
for
So
having
much
me.
fun.
Thank you.
And as always,
Bless.
like and subscribe below for Seth and Beth, and we'll be back next week with more awesomeness. See you guys. Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.